Okay, viewers, this is Dr. James One Dutch speaking, and it's Wednesday, 24th of September 2025, and right now I'm on Fairfax Street in Coventry City Centre, which is just next to the Pool Meadow bus station. And interestingly, this is the exact location here, if you can see right behind me, where I used to park my car and sleep overnight as a rough car sleeper. And as you can recall, I slept in my car as a vulnerable adult, a civilian vulnerable adult, I should mention, for over 13 months before I was eventually discovered. And in fact, I was actually discovered parked over here. And I should let my viewers know that they no longer park their vehicles up here anymore. Just as well, obviously, it was a horrendous ordeal that I went through. Now they've actually banned parking of cars here. And the irony is, it's actually located just right next to, or adjacent to the Britannia Hotel. So they could clearly see what was going on. Obviously, they must have known what was going on. And even they didn't offer me a room to sleep in, although they've got vacant rooms there. And if you can also recall that the Home Office does place refugees and asylum seekers in hotel accommodation if they can't find them any local accommodation, that is in hostels or houses or shared houses, etc. So this is where I was. This is where I was parked for well over 13 months, and it's kind of a poignant reminder. And obviously, I survived to tell the tale, and I was discovered by the homeless outreach workers based on Lamb Street, the Jesus Centre outreach workers, and I think there was about 2 or 3 people there who seen me in the car. It was one male, a Romanian guy who worked for them, an outreach worker, and 2 women, local women, probably or near about somewhere. And they even filmed me, actually, made a video of it for their, obviously, for their centre. That's the Jesus Centre. So they're obviously staff there. And that's where nowadays no cars are allowed to park. Just as well as they've even blocked these up with the. Can you see there's bollards kind of thing? There's bollards weren't there before, obviously. That's what restricts people from parking. But this is well over a year ago, and I was discovered it around, I think it was May, early May of 2024, before I eventually got discovered. And even law enforcement officers used to go by, walk past me, ask me questions, and they all knew about the score here. And they knew I was a vulnerable adult, a civilian vulnerable adult, and even they couldn't do anything to help the process of getting me housed. And the thing that I should mention to my viewers is the Coventry Home Finder system puts you on the next highest priority band, which was band 2, and I was on that for 56 days. That's the maximum. And what's so of a letdown is that, or pathetic, is during that 56 days, they couldn't even find me a place, not even a bed sit, a room in a shared house, in a supported housing. 56 days, it shouldn't have taken more than that. That's the maximum. And I did mention a month in my car was tolerable, but 56 days according to their rules. During that time, I should have been found a place. But obviously, I had to endure 400 plus days of sleeping rough in my cars. That's 13 plus months, which is about 400 plus days. So that's how much I had to withstand, obviously, that sort of a punishing, distressing ordeal. Although they shouldn't have taken more than 56 days. and that priority band should have been more than enough, more than sufficient to allocate me a place to go to, another alternative place of abode. And I did say it was negligence on behalf of Coventry County Court on not insisting on Citizen Housing Group to provide me with an alternative place of abode to go to. I mean, obviously, Citizen Housing Group is a landlord company, and they've got thousands of houses, vacant houses, I should mention, and bedsit properties, as well as bungalows and other types of accommodation. They could have easily altered their regime, tactics, ruthlessness, and be ordered to provide me with a alternative abode, but they didn't, because the judges didn't insist on it when they should have. That's the Coventry County Court. And the real fault is obviously down to Citizen Housing Group themselves. Obviously, they were ruthless tyrants at the end of the day, and not just a hostile takeover, but they didn't even put me on a tenancy agreement as successor. If you can recall, that is my mother's parents, my late mother's property, and she was snatched out of the house, the main tenant, and that's what rendered me vulnerable as well, and a vulnerable adult, a civilian vulnerable adult. I didn't have the means to obviously just walk into a hotel room and book myself a room or something, or some other place of abode. I was on unemployment welfare, so that's the lowest income threshold you can think of. It's down to them to provide me with an alternative place to go to, and they are at fault, serious fault, especially Citizen Housing Group and Coventry County Court. And of course, not forgetting the housing officers and social services, who can also do the ideal transfer. And it's down to those sort of individuals in terms of prioritising your needs, urgent needs, and they didn't seem to obviously prioritise my needs. I knew I had a car, and I was sleeping rough in my car, which is a lot better to them than obviously sleeping rough in front of shop windows and things in cardboard boxes, besides creepy crawlies and all sorts of things, and all sorts of weather conditions, harsh weather conditions, I should mention, especially during winter, and even summer sometimes can be unbearable as well. So they're all at fault at the end of the day, and I was a vulnerable civilian adult at the end of the day, and I had nowhere else to go to other than my car. Where could I have gone? I mean, I don't fancy going to into the forest or something. Those sort of people, I'm a civilian at the end of the day, and civilian means from civil, so not military man. A military people don't have that sort of attitude. Obviously, they're not really civil enough, are they? Very harsh, kind of almost martial-like. They're very martial, obviously, as opposed to civilians or civil behaviour. So they should have really made the transfer quite smooth, and I shouldn't have really have had to wait that long. That's the whole point here. And they should have put me down on the tenancy agreement. That's where the fault lies, obviously, with the Citizen Housing Group. They snatched a house end of the day worth at least £200,000. That's how evil and nasty they were. So, and now I'm just supported housing, a bedroom in a shared house with other dwellers who are also similar situation as myself, and just supported by supported housing for the homeless. So that's what's failed us anyway. And even the Coventry Home Finder system, that's failed us miserably. Even though I was placed on band 2, the second highest priority band, after 56 days it would go back to band 3 or band 4, whatever it was I was on. And even during that time, 56 days, I didn't get anywhere. So that's the appalling side of things anyway. So I'll end this video now. So this was Fairfax Street. This was a location I was kind of parked at quite often, especially towards the end when I was eventually discovered. But I was all over. I was parked in other places as well, other towns, but mostly on this sort of area, on this sort of road. But like I said, the bollards are there now. You can't really park anyone's car there, just as well, obviously. So that was a difficult phase I went through, and the Prime Minister at the time was Conservative leader Rishi Sunak, a multi-millionaire with a celebrity net worth of around 800 million US dollars, one of the most highest celebrity net worth for any UK Prime Minister, come to think of it. He was a UK leader at the time, and locally the MP was Zawa Sultana, and she couldn't get me a room either, even through the help with her secretary that she's got as an MP. She couldn't even get me a place, find me a place, that was how bad it was. And incidentally, the current incumbent Prime Minister, Labour leader, he's been quoted as having a celebrity net worth of around 10 million US dollars, just about 6 million more US dollars than Nigel Farage, that independent MP. So, and incidentally, Boris Johnson's only got a celebrity net worth of 2 million US dollars. Okay, I'll end this video now. Dr. James Wondich on Wednesday, 24th of September 2025 on Fairfax Street in Coventry City.